The Bering Sea, one of the harshest fishing grounds on the planet. In winter, winds reach over 90 kilometers per hour, waves rise as high as a 3-story building, and temperatures can drop below minus 30 degrees Celsius. Out here, only steel and human will can endure. But beneath this deadly ocean lies a treasure, the Alaskan king crab. Each can weigh up to 10 kilograms with massive spiny legs. On the international market, just 1 pound can sell for more than $40. To harvest them, crews must hit huge quotas in just 7 days. Each 300-kilogram steel pot is baited and dropped to the ocean floor. Every haul is a gamble. It could bring tens of thousands of dollars or nothing at all. For those who risk this sea, it's more than a job. It's a deadly game against the ocean. A multi-million-dollar gamble where the real price is human life. Don't forget to hit subscribe and join us to uncover more hidden stories of the ocean. The vessel leaves Dutch Harbor and heads straight into rough waters. For the crew, the next week will decide their entire year. On deck, 200 steel pots are stacked and ready, each one worth nearly $1,000 in gear and fuel to set. Crewmen load the pots with bait, usually herring or mackerel, then use hydraulic cranes to drop them into the freezing depths. Hours later, the real test begins. The first pot is hauled up. Inside, over 60 giant red king crabs, their legs thrashing, a single haul worth nearly $20,000. But there are no cheers. Everyone knows the Bering Sea never gives up its treasure easily. The second pot, only 30 crabs. The third, 70. Every time the lid opens, the crew holds their breath. To break even, each pot must hold at least 20 crabs. Below that, the trip turns into debt.
Riders, the pot. Roger! Count was 3-1. Last day of the first trip, so we're still on crab for our 40 pots. Hopefully we'll reach our goal of 30,000 crab this trip. We might be a little bit shy, but all in all, it's been a darn good trip.
Then another threat looms. A blizzard slams into the vessel. Winds gust to 90 kilometers per hour. Waves tower 5 meters high. In minutes, the deck is coated in ice. One slip could throw a man overboard into water so cold, survival is measured in minutes. But the pots must keep coming up, because quitting now means losing everything. In the Bering Sea, there is no day or night, only 20-hour shifts under dim yellow deck lights with ice clinging to every surface. Crewmen wear heavy gloves and soaked survival suits, hands frozen stiff. They hook cables, steady swaying pots, and wrestle crabs from the cages. One mistake and a snapping steel cable could shatter bones or kill instantly. A full pot of king crab can be worth $15,000 to $20,000, but the cost to land it is blood, sweat, and exhaustion. Below deck, the catch is kept alive in seawater tanks held precisely at 0 to 2 degrees Celsius. If the water gets too warm, the crabs die. Too cold, and they lose commercial value. A few degrees mean tens of thousands of dollars lost. Weak or dead crabs are processed immediately. They are boiled fast, shock-chilled, and then hand-picked for meat. Every leg, every piece is separated to keep the structure intact. Above deck, the storm continues. Rain and ice hammer the vessel. But no one stops working, because every minute of rest means thousands of dollars slipping away. And the pressure isn't only from the sea. Many of these men carry heavy debts. A successful trip could clear the bank. A failed one could mean ruin. Day bleeds into night. Time doesn't exist here. There is only one goal: reach 200,000 pounds of king crab in 7 days. Day 7. The final pot is hauled from the black water. The scale tips past 200,000 pounds. The quota is complete. $3 million of crab fill the holds. But the race isn't over. The value remains only if the catch is handled perfectly. The strongest crabs are kept alive in cold seawater, carefully maintained at 0 to 2 degrees. At that temperature, they can survive the journey to high-end restaurants in Tokyo or Seoul. A single mistake could wipe out hundreds of thousands of dollars. Weaker or dead crabs are treated differently. They are boiled quickly, chilled, and then hand processed. The meat is sorted into whole legs, flakes, and roe. Each type has its own market, from Michelin-starred restaurants to convenience store chains. Within 48 hours, the entire load will leave Alaska, packed in insulated boxes with gel ice or frozen and loaded into refrigerated containers. Their destinations: Japan, South Korea, the United States, and Europe. There, prices rise even higher. A single king crab can retail for $500 in Tokyo. A banquet featuring these crabs costs thousands. Early morning. In a waterfront restaurant, white foam boxes from Alaska are opened. Inside, giant red king crabs still alive after traveling thousands of miles. The chef doesn't need complex flavors, just a steamer, hot volcanic stones, and a pinch of sea salt. The meat stays sweet and firm, pure ocean in every bite. When the spiny shell is cracked open, thick white flesh is revealed. Each serving here sells for hundreds of dollars. But the true value is not on the plate. It lies in the 7 days of storms, in frozen hands, in sleepless shifts on a rolling deck. The king crab is more than a luxury seafood. It is a symbol of mankind's struggle against the sea. A billion-dollar industry built on sweat, sacrifice, and lives lost to the waves. When the vessel returns to port in Alaska, there are no fireworks, only weary faces, relieved to be alive. They've survived, they've hit their quota, and they know in a few months the Bering Sea will call them back. The ocean is never easy, but that's what makes its reward so extraordinary. If you want to see more journeys like this, subscribe and follow the channel for true stories from the world's deadliest seas.